We are ready, Master.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming. Tonight is the Chan instructions talks from Master YongHua. We like to learn from the patriarchs. That's a basis of our practice. But first, does anyone have any questions? Master Omeng, how are you feeling today?
Thì con tốt khá hơn rồi. Biết đói bụng ăn cơm được.
Today only or yesterday or what?
Ngày hôm qua cũng vậy.
Okay. You'll feel better starting from tomorrow too. So, okay? So, bear with it. But you should feel more stable from starting from tomorrow on. Okay. How's everyone else? Jewel Kong. How is Jae Hyung? Is she still alive? Okay. At the funeral home. 안녕하세요. How are you feeling today?
JC, we can hear you. 돌아서는 소리가 안 들립니다.
We can hear you, but you cannot hear us. We can hear you fine.
Okay. I feel a lot of nausea.
Okay.
Still dizzy a little bit.
Too dizzy a little bit, okay.
Last day in lecture, I think I kind of lost my mind, lost my conscious. I'm a little bit worried about it.
Okay. You don't want to lose your conscious. Your conscious is important. You don't want to lose it. So 2 more days?
Yes, 2.5.
2.5, okay. Well, hang in there. I hope you make it.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? I want to remind you, when you do these fasting things, fasting Dharma is under supervision, meaning we're trying to keep an eye on you. So you need to get permission first. Okay?
And there's another question.
Yes.
Another person.
What about the other person?
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
권효경이라고 합니다. 단식한 지 이제 10일차 거의 꽉 채워가는데 좀 더 하는 게 좋을지 그만두는 게 좋을지 여쭤보려고 물어봅니다. 네, 권효경입니다.
Hi, Master. My name is Kwon Hyo-kyung. I started my fasting, and this is I'm almost finishing my 7th day. So I'd like to ask you if I need to continue or stop. Thank you.
Yeah, you can do to 9 days. Now you can. This is your first time, right?
지금 10일차 되고 12시 낮 12시 지나면은 11일차 돼요. 여기서 멈추는 게
그리고 11일이 된다고요?
네.
네. 12시 오늘 저녁이요?
아니요, 낮 12시 지나면은 11일차 돼요.
그리고 처음으로 단식을 하시는 건가요?
네.
Master, this is her first time. I'm sorry, this is her 11th day.
11th day. Whoa. That's impressive. What is it you Koreans do?
Almost made it to 11th day.
Okay. As I said, 13 days is very lucky. 2 more days, okay? Then you can eat again. Yeah?
네, 감사합니다.
Okay, you're welcome. De nada. How do you say de nada in Korean? You know what de nada means? Never mind. Okay, I learned a little bit of Korean, you learn a little bit of Espanol. Okay. How about everyone else? Does anyone have any questions? Wei Mountain.
Thank you, Master. Denada in Korean is Chun Mario.
Chung Mario. It sounds like Super Mario.
Super Mario.
Okay, I'll have to get the exact pronunciation and so forth, okay? Is it commonly said de nada in Korean or no? You're welcome or something? No? You do? Okay, you do. I should learn to say it in Korean. Expand my knowledge slowly. All right, anyone else has any questions, comments, concerns? No? Okay. Okay. Yes. Over here at DTT number 6. Is the sound okay for the internet people? I've been hearing complaints that the sound is bad on our broadcast. The sound room is a problem, so they can pick up all sorts of echoes and stuff. Okay. Looks like we need more soundproofing. Yes. 6.
I did a Phật thầy. Con have a question about my sit. Lately, consider a little bit, try to sit a bit longer, and the last hour con have back pain. So con just wonder, is it because of the way that I sit have lotus, or because of I have problem?
Come again? You starting to sit again? What do you mean, sit again?
Oh no, when I sit, I try to sit a little longer.
Have you been in full lotus?
No, thầy. It's still in half lotus.
Okay, now we can begin to sit in full lotus. It will go away. Next.
Oh, thank you, thầy.
This woman is crazy. She says, I want to sit in full lotus. So she's doing everything possible to pressure me to allow her to sit in full lotus. 1 hour. Okay? Okay, anyone else? Look how happy she looks. Look at that. Look at that. So sick. Okay. Any other questions? All right. So last night, we heard Master Hsuan talk about this great Chinese master, Dharma master Tao An, who's at the time was very famous in China. I think he's so well known that actually very well known. There's some real eminent monks around, and Master Dao An was one of them. And I've always been curious about Master Dao An because I heard so much about him, and so it's kind of a pleasure to hear about his life story, and it's very insightful to me. So Master Dao An became very famous because he would out-debate everyone. He has tremendous wisdom, he has tremendous knowledge, and for that, typically, just to give you a reference, if you want to have great knowledge, expansive knowledge, you have to reach the level of fourth ground bodhisattva. Okay? They specialize in knowledge. They know a lot. They study a lot. They can absorb worldly knowledge, worldly information. All right? And so that level, so if below that, they have a hard time digesting. They still have a hard time digesting information. So, for example, and when I went to Korea and met with some of the, I don't want to mention names because out of respect for his profound contribution to Korean Buddhism, there was an enlightened monk who is now deceased, who was passing along, promoting his master's teaching of Buddhism. Okay, his master has his charts of the cosmos, or world systems, and so forth. Okay, and he was passing it along to his own disciples and said, "This is what my master taught me." Okay, and I respect that. I admire that as his profound gratitude for his master. But the information that he presented, I glanced at it and said, no, this is not accurate. This is off. Okay, so the person who drew the charts was very limited in knowledge. Okay, and so you see, and of course, this Korean monk is enlightened, but his level is not 4. You see, so that's why they cannot tell. They cannot tell that they don't have the knowledge base yet to be able to have a broader view of the teachings. Okay? So it's not talk. You have to reach a level before you can absorb and contain and digest such information. So anyway, so Master Tao An was a Tripitaka master, so he could master the 3 stores, the Sutra stores, the Shastra stores, and Vinaya store. So you see, so that's why he's at least 4th stage, 4th ground bodhisattva. So as I hear more and more stories and so forth about him, I'm beginning to have a picture of what he was like and why he was so revered. And it's in the early days of Buddhism in China. So Master Tao An was a famous debater. He debated and won everyone. He defeated everyone he debated against. And so he was very famous, and he had a lot of scholars and court officials taking refuge with him. And he was invited to everywhere to lecture, to speak the Dharma. And the story last night was that he met with the hermit. What's his name again? Xi something. Xi Zhao Zhi, okay? Who was a hermit? And so the hermit heard of Master Tao An, so he went to see Master Tao An. Tao An said, and Master Tao An looked at him and said, "Who are you? What is your name?" And the guy was shocked. I said, You don't know about me, the famous hermit? And so I am four C's. Xi Zhao Zhi. Four C's meaning my name is known throughout the four C's. In China, the four C's represent the world. Yes? That's my recollection. Four C's mean, you basically are known throughout the world. Okay? And so the Xi Zhao Zhi was indignant and said, I'm 4C Xi Zhao Zhi. How come you don't know about me? And Master Tao An says, then do you know about me? And I said, no, you are Master Tao An, of course. Everyone knows about you. I said, no, wrong. I am actually Mi Tian Shu Tao An, meaning that filling up the heavens. Shakya Tao An, meaning my name fills up the heavens. All the heavens know about me, not just the worldly level here, down here, where you only know throughout the four C's among the humans. I am known among the gods, all the heavens. And the concept, the heavens, is the rulers of the humans. You see? Heaven rules over earth. Okay? And mankind is in between. Okay? Heavens, men, and the earth. That's the nature of the concept of the world back then. So far, so good. So Master Tao An had a very sharp tongue. So he said, my name fills up the heavens. And was considered, according to Master YongHua, that was, at the time, ordinary people thought there was the best debate, the best interchange between two masters. Okay? And last night, one of my disciples asked me, so what would be a good answer that would show compassion? So I'm asking you now. Now you heard of it and you slept on it, hopefully, and meditated on it. So how would you have answered to the guy who says, I'm 4 C's, Xi Zhao Zhi. My name is known throughout the 4 C's. How would you answer him? Okay, so you don't answer them. Very good. No one? Master, old monk, leave some words for posterity. Well, how would you answer him? Because they're gonna come to you, old abbot. They're gonna try to debate with you.
Thầy, nếu mà ai muốn lại mà biện luận thì con là không có biết nói sao.
Well, how would you answer this guy? He says, you don't know about me, 4 seasons, Xi Zhao Zhi. And Master Tao An says, you know me? And he said, yes, you are Master Shakya Tao An, Dharma Master Tao An. And Master Tao An said, no, you're wrong. I am. Filling the heavens. Shakya Tao An. And that was considered to be the best debate. Anyone? Come on, use your imagination. We are in the 21st century. Yes, number 5. You have to use bigger digits. It's very hard to see on the back. Yes.
Yeah, but hey, can we just say that's nice?
That's nice.
Yeah, like good for you. That's nice.
Oh, she's nice. She said, that's nice.
Yeah, I mean, like, do we have to respond with something, or can we just compliment them? Like, oh, that's nice that.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad for you.
Yeah.
You say that.
But like not snarkily, like in a nice way.
In a nice way.
Yes,
And
sir.
not say like in a derogative, derisive way. That's nice. You say, that's nice. Right? Facial expressions, everything. Okay. Anyone else? She's from Southern California. For your reference. Yes, Wei Mao. How would you answer this guy?
Thank you, Master. I thought, just to clarify, his Chinese name has a very interesting meaning, right? Jane Clymer says in the YouTube comments, it means studying chiseling of the teeth, right?
Yeah. Yeah, learning to be a dentist.
Yeah, so I'd be like, oh, the toothache of the 4 C's. So nice to meet you.
Okay, so that's how you would answer him. Is that Jane's idea or your idea? I want to be clear.
That's my idea, having had lots of time for a witty comeback. But
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so he's mocking him. He said, so nice to see you, Mr. Studying to chisel teeth. Wei Mountain. So American. Yes.
Thank you, Master. I will say the 4 C's are empty. What is there to be known?
Okay, 4 C's are empty. Okay, yes, anyone else? See, I don't expect the Koreans to say anything because they're polite. Yeah. Yes, Master Young Abbot, number 4.
Master, I just would say my name is Sakya Tao An. That's all.
You're lying. Your name is Shaka Tao. He would lie. Okay. Different strokes for different folks. I'm not complaining. YouTube question.
thank you, Master. We have several YouTube comments. Many wanted to first confirm the sound sounds good this evening, to let you know.
Oh, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Okay.
And as always, I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to the over 30 people we have tuning in live on our YouTube audience.
Amen.
Ninja Checkmate, also known as Malcolm, comments, Master, I would say, well, I'm a disciple of Master YongHua from Way Mountain Temple, American Mahayana.
Typical Malcolm. So American. Yes, anyone else? More YouTube comments. Yes?
Oh, those are all the YouTube comments for right now, Master. Thank you.
That's all? Okay. What about the young lady who used to be on the debate team in high school and at Yale, whatever? What would you say?
I'd probably just say that sounds cool.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, and leave it at that.
Leave it at that. I see. Very neutral. Okay, that's very East Coast. They are, they have class. We don't do verbal sparring. Anyone else? Yeah? See, Jae-hyung is bowing already, hoping for inspiration. And that's a lady in Jiukong, you see? Yeah. Okay, Koreans, have any ideas? No? No ideas? See, that's why I suspected Koreans would be too polite to say anything. Yeah? Okay, anyone else? No? Okay, then that settles it. So we have all the various choices among yourselves, or you can choose any of the above, and you perfectly be happy with it. Okay? The point here is that it seems to me that your attitude, except for our American disciple there, Peter, who chose to be derisive, derogatory, and making fun of someone's name, and that's very American. Okay, but the Asians' perspective is that they let it slide, and now of course Colombia, it says 4 C's, that's empty, so it's such fighting mode. Okay, well anyway, so you will find such people when you go out there and you go everywhere debating, to spread the good words. You will always find people who will come and try to pick a fight with you, and so be prepared for it. And it's just life. If Master Tawan chose to go and debate people, of course, people will come and keep on challenging him. Okay? All right. Any other questions or comments before we move on? Okay. 184. Let's continue.
还有一次，这个道安呢，他各处去讲经说法、翻译经典呢，也在这个九摩罗什法师这个时候。
Sutras. He was in the same era as Dharma Master Kumarajiva. Dharma Master Kumarajiva was in India, and he knew in China there was a whole sky Shakya Daoan.
他就说这一定是圣人，所以就在印度呢，天天给他顶礼九拜，拜这个石道安。
He said, "This must be a sage." So, in India, he bowed 9 times to him daily. He bowed to Shakya Dao'an.
鸠摩罗什法师天天在求慈啊，在这个地丁那一带，每一天都向这个道安法师顶礼9叩首。
Dharma Master Kumarajiva paid homage, bowed to Dharma Master Dao'an 9 times every day in the area of Kucha and Biban.
可是，那么他希望到中国来见一见这个石道安，但是他到中国没到中国以前，石道安已经就往生了。
He wished to go to China to meet Shakya Dao'an, but before he arrived in China, Shi Dao'an had already passed away.
Okay, stop. So now, so the Master Sheha went on and said Master Dao'an was in the same period as Dharma Master Kumarajiva. Master Kumarajiva is of Indian descent, and he was very instrumental in translating a lot of sutras, Mahayana sutras, from Sanskrit into Chinese. Actually, the emperor brought him over, kidnapped him over. Chinese emperor kidnapped him over and put him in a huge monastery and tasked him with translating the Mahayana sutras. So Master Kumarajiva at one point had like 3,000 monks working under him just to translate sutras. And the temple is so vast. I remember somewhere Master Sheha says the temple is so big that you need to if you want to go to the front gate, you need to ride a horse very fast. Okay, just to get to the front gate. So it's back then the Chinese emperor regarded very highly Mahayana, and so they decided, I think it's the Tang dynasty, when they decided to make the Dharma masters as the national treasures. Very much like Korea nowadays have something concept called national whatever. What's called in Korea? National asset or something. Okay. And so they considered Buddhism to be a treasure for the Chinese culture, and the emperors supported great Master Kumarajiva in his translation work to make the Dharma available to the Chinese. So this is a very important era in Chinese Buddhism, where they had a lot of great masters coming to China to help build up Chinese Buddhism. All right? And so Master Kumarajiva was in India, and he heard about Master Dao'an, and so clearly the debate spread to even to India, and so the name whole heaven, or feeling the whole sky, or feeling the heavens, was known in India even. And Master Kumarajiva was convinced that Master Dao'an was enlightened, and so he bowed to him daily 9 times. And this is a rather important practice. You bow, when you bow to someone, you actually are making offerings to that person. Especially in the Buddhist tradition, it is highly desirable for you to, if you encounter a sage, to bow to a sage. Okay. And I remember when I was at the City 10,000 Buddhas, I was a layperson. I was a teacher, a Lodi teacher at the boys' school. And one day during a Chanchi, I decided to sit for about 16 hours straight. Okay. And the first time I came to the city, and I thought, well, let's isolate myself, and so that I can keep the 5 precepts, and then I would teach at the school to justify my existence. And so I decided to sit for 16 hours straight, and the word spread very, very quickly. And after they sit for 16 hours, which is nothing compared to what the kids are doing nowadays, what is it? Shen Yun girl is sitting like 20 hours now. And Xiao Tai is sitting like 18 hours or something. Yeah. And 16 hours was a big deal back then. Okay? So after 16 hours, my right legs, the tendons, the underneath, were hyperextended. So it hurt so much that I couldn't cross my legs for 6 months. A very stupid thing to do. Okay. But anyway, I was hurting. So the next couple of days, I was lying down in my bed in my room, and the young abbot heard of my having sit for 16 hours. So he knocked on my door. Okay, I was lying there very happy. He said, "Oh, my legs are not feeling good, but I'm pretty pleased." Life is so simple. We have a lot of worldly things to worry about. And so the young abbot came in, and I was lying there. So he knocked on the door and opened the door right away. Okay, and he walked in there, and I looked at him. I said, "Oh, it's the abbot." Okay, and he walked in. You know what the first thing he did? First thing he did is did a half bow to me. I tried to get up and say, "Oh, wait a minute, what are you doing to me?" And so apparently, 16 hours, like you are like considered a sage or something. It's a Taiwanese tradition. The Taiwanese, they're very, very clear about this. You find a sage or something, you bow to them, because that's making offerings to a sage. Okay? Keep that in mind. And so, when you make offering to a sage, it's tremendously beneficial for you. So that's why when Master Kumara Jiva heard of Master Taoan and was sure that Master Taoan had to be a bodhisattva, he was bowing to him, even from India to China. Okay? And eventually, Master Kumara Jiva decided to go to China to meet with Master Taoan. And so, see, that's the second tradition that is very important to the Buddhists. That is, if you hear of a sage, not only do you make offerings to him, but you want to go see him. Okay? Because it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be able to meet with the sage. And if you're lucky and you're worthy of it, the sage will give you some instructions. Okay, if you are worth it. If you don't deserve it, there's no instructions for you. You have to earn it. Okay, so even Master Kumara Jiva, at the time, he was already very famous, but he realized that Master Taoan is so famous that he had to go meet with a very, very famous great Master Taoan, and hopefully he'll get some instructions. All right, but Master Kumara Jiva, when he arrived in China, Master Taoan already entered stillness. All right, questions or comments? Okay, let's continue.
往生之前呢，有过这么一段事。
Before Dharma Master Daoan passed away, there was a story.
也告诉呢，当时也是有一个隐士，这个隐士叫王家，常常呢来见这个道安法师。
At that time, there was a hermit, YongHua, who visited him very often.
等道安法师将要圆寂的时候，这个王家又来了，他就对王家说。
When Dharma Master Daoan was about to die, YongHua came again. He told YongHua,
咱们两个应该走喽，咱们两个应该不再走。
Hey, the two of us should leave. The two of us shouldn't be here any longer.
这王家说：“要走吗？要走你先走喽，我还有一点小小的债务没有还清，等我把这个债务还清，我再走。”
YongHua replied, "Oh, time to leave? You go first. I have a little unpaid debt. I will leave after I pay it off."
债就是譬如借人钱没还，这叫债。那么你杀人的命没有还，这也叫债。
Debt. For example, borrowing money from others without repaying is debt. If you kill others without repaying, this is also debt.
在这个时候说完了，这个道安就结成家父座就走了，走了又。
At that time, they finished talking. Dharma Master Daoan sat in full lotus and passed away. He passed away.
过一个时期，就是这个朱胚啊，去发南京，到南京那个地方，就把这个王家就给捉住。
After another while, this Fupei, Yaochang, attacked Nanjing and caught YongHua in Nanjing.
捉住这叫王家，跟着他去帮他。王家说我不能帮他。
After he captured him, he told YongHua to follow him and help him. YongHua said, "I can't help him."
那么这个夫胚呢，就把他杀了，把这个王家杀了。
So Yao Chang killed him. He killed YongHua.
那么杀了这个王家的时候，在同一天呢，在另外一个地方就有人呢看见这个王家，在另外一个地方走路。
The same day YongHua was killed, another person saw YongHua walking in a different place.
那么结果这一天正是他死的这一天。那么他所说有一点债务，小债务，就是他要等着来还这个果报，还这个生命的报。
That day was exactly the day he died. The little debt he mentioned, the small debt, was to pay back his retribution, to pay back the killing retribution.
所以在古来人呢，看这个生死的问题，有轻于鸿毛，有重于泰山。
The ancient looked at the life and death problem. It can be lighter than a feather or weightier than Mount Tai.
轻于鸿毛，这个轻好像一个鹅毛啊、燕毛啊，很轻。
Lighter than a feather. It's light, like a goose feather. Goose feather is very light.
燕呢，春天、秋天有来那个雁，鸿雁，大的雁，它是一溜一溜这么飞。
In spring and autumn, geese would come. Swan geese, the big ones. They fly in rows.
有重于泰山，这个重要的时候好像泰山。
Weightier than Mount Tai. At important moments, it is like Mount Tai.
那么这个王家呢，虽然是个在家人，本来他是个居士，可是啊，他也明白自己的使命。
Although YongHua was a laity, he was a lay person, but he understood his fate.
要去认账，要去消除这种许债。
He went to admit and pay off his debt.
所以在佛教里头，一切的事情都是讲因果，都有前因后果。
In Buddhism, everything is about cause and effect. Everything has its previous cause and future effect.
讲这个业，就是起毁造业受报。怎么起毁呢？
Talk about karma. That's give rise to confusion, create karma, and bear retribution.
起毁就是那个无明，那毁就是个无明，因为你不明，没有智慧，无明了。
Confusion arises because of ignorance. The confusion is ignorance. Because you are not bright, don't have wisdom, and are ignorant.
所以就造出种种的这个不正常的恶业，这造业。 造出来这种恶业，然后就又要受果报。
Thus, you create many improper evil karmas. You created karma. Because you created such evil karma, you would bear the retribution.
所以这叫起毁造业受报，这是连带关系。
So, this is called give rise to confusion, create karma, and bear retribution. They are interdependent.
你要是怕受报嘛，你就不造业。
If you are afraid of bearing the retribution, then you should not create karma.
你要想不造业嘛，就要常常用你这个般若的智慧，不用你那个无明。
If you want to not create karma, then you should often use your prajna wisdom and not use your ignorance.
Okay, let's stop. Let's backtrack. So I'm back at slide 191, 189. So Master Tawan has a friend that he hanging out with. It's a hermit, YongHua. So these hermits, they usually, not only are they happy in the cultivation, they're very blissful. They don't have the kind of disruptions we have very few afflictions, and therefore a very blissful state. And not surprisingly, they also have many spiritual penetrations. Okay, and so this is one consideration, that when you practice, eventually you want to go into seclusion. Okay, Master YongHua did, and after seclusion, he went down, descended from the mountain, and started working, started teaching. All right, and so YongHua here is a hermit, and he hang around Master Tawan, meaning that they're very good buddies. They share a lot of things. They have a good time together. And one day, Master Tawan told YongHua, said, "I'm leaving. It's time to go. You should go too. We're done here. We finish here. Our work is finished. We don't have much more to do. So it's time to go. And there's not much more that I can do. So to be around will be simply be a burden. And so you too, you're done as well. You should go with me and die with me." And YongHua says, "I can't go yet. I have some little debt I need to pay. And I will pay, and let me pay it off, and then I leave. It's not too late to leave after I pay off my debts." And Master Share explained that is something that you owe someone. Owe money, you owe blood. For spilling people's blood, you owe them blood. And after they finished talking, after they talked, Master Tawan sat in full lotus and passed away. So you see, he has Kung Fu. He can decide when to go. So there is a technique behind it, where you can, these people who have Kung Fu, they can leave anytime they feel like. Unlike us, we have no control over it. But they can then stay longer if they wish. They can leave sooner if they wish as well. So they decide how long they're going to stay here. And so he sat in full lotus and passed away. And not long after, there's a warlord. More like this guy is more like probably I don't know how accurate I am about Chinese history, but this is more like a warlord where he's basically a bandit, and he had a lot of thugs under him. They have weapons. So they invaded Nanjing, the city there where they were staying, and he caught YongHua in Nanjing. And YongHua apparently has his own reputation among the Chinese at the time as well. Maybe not as famous as Master Taoan, but YongHua certainly was recognized as having some skills. So when this warlord caught YongHua, please, the Chinese people, feel free to correct me. You can check your Chinese history and help us out, Chinese-speaking people. And so he caught YongHua and said, I'd like you to become my counselor, my advisor. The teacher, my teacher. So basically my advisor for important affairs. And YongHua refused. He says, no, I can't help you. I don't want to help you. So this warlord, Yao Chang, whatever, killed YongHua. You know why? Again, I'm going off my guesses, but I can tell the story. My guess is fills up a story to depict the story. Why would Yao Chang kill YongHua? Yes, 4.
I think because YongHua disobeyed his order not to serve him.
Come again? Because
YongHua disobeyed him to serve him.
So YongHua is not doesn't belong to him. YongHua belongs to the emperor, whatever. Anyone else? Why would Yao Chang kill YongHua, the hermit? Yes, 6.
I did about thầy con think that maybe last lifetime YongHua killed Yao Chang.
Maybe.
Now he had to pay back.
Maybe, but there's a reason for why would you want to kill someone. Maybe in the past you may have a blood debt, but this lifetime you need something called condition for the guy to kill you. Okay, the cause is that you have a debt, but it must be conditioned before the debt is settled. Is that clear? Okay, you have cause and effect, but you also between that, there's something called condition. So what is a condition? Yes, Wei Mountain.
Thank you, Master. I appreciate your explanation of the need for a condition. I'm going to go with a worldly reason. Maybe that's the condition. I believe the warlord killed him because if he wasn't going to advise the warlord couldn't have this wise person advise anyone else. So he just took him off the board.
Precisely. You see, that's what Americans do. They go invade a country and they find the wise men of the countries and ask, would you like to be our friends or cooperate with us? Okay, and you don't, you kill them. Okay, it's so American. It's so obvious to the American, not to the Vietnamese, clearly. Okay? Because back then, during those times, your success in your military campaigns and your ambitions to become emperor really depend on having the right kind of help, good help, in generals and in particular advisors. And so that's why YongHua, you can tell YongHua is pretty famous, and Master Hsuan gloss over this, but this is a Chinese culture. YongHua was pretty famous, and he was a competent. He's known to be probably a military strategist. So YongHua could not afford to leave. Yao Chang cannot afford to leave YongHua alone. He's afraid that YongHua can help someone else and would defeat him. So it's better to kill YongHua. Okay, so that is the condition. Is that clear? Because you owe the debt of blood doesn't necessarily mean you have to pay it right away. You need some conditions for you to pay. Okay, so YongHua could see that it was time for him to pay. Okay, so that's how he chose. You see, so that's what happens a lot to the people like YongHua who cultivate and who can see the connection between cause and effect. Okay, and but clearly, also an anecdote is that the day that YongHua was being murdered by the warlord, someone saw YongHua walking somewhere else. Okay, so that's the nature of these beings. They have multiple, what Mr. Putin calls doubles. You don't know whether you're killing Mr. Right Putin or a fake Putin, for example. Okay? Yeah. All right? And Master Hsuan's point was that if you have wisdom, you would not be so attached to life. Okay? So he says, the ancients, when they look at life, meaning the ancient wisdom is that life can be as light, as insignificant as a feather, or as weighty as a mountain. Okay? And so, what does it mean? Life can be as light as a feather, or as weighty, as heavy as a mountain. What does it mean? The sages, they say that the point here he's making is that according to the ancient sages, life can be as light as a feather, meaning it's not a big deal. Okay? Meaning that if you take my life, go ahead and take it. It's not a big deal. I can die. I can let they die. Okay? With no regrets at all. All right? He might be in the midst of doing something important, but the people with wisdom, they can let go just like that. Okay? They drop it just like that. That's wisdom. Okay? That's exemplified by Mr. YongHua, who said, I stick around and face my retribution. I owe this guy my life, and therefore I want to pay him back. So that's an example of life is considered by YongHua like a feather. What about the case where it says life can be as heavy as a mountain? What does it mean? see the other side of it. They can let go of life that easily. But they also can decide to hang on to life, to dear life, okay, for the right reasons. So nothing is fixed. Yes, you too.
Brady McBride says, life can weigh upon you heavily.
I'm sorry? Again.
Brady McBride says, life can weigh upon you heavily.
Yes. Life is very important. Not just a weight thing. It says life is as weighty as a mountain, meaning that it's very important. You don't take it lightly at all. You don't take being alive lightly at all. Why is that? Yes, 7.
업장 때문이 아닐까요?
Is it because of karmic obstruction?
No. Anyone else? JC question.
네, 안녕하세요. 저희는 아직 항이 있기 때문에 내가 있기 때문에 태산같이 무겁다고 생각합니다. 감사합니다.
Master, because we still have marks and we think that we still exist. That's why look at as Mount Tai.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the sages. Go ahead, JC.
왜냐하면 그 미션이 있기 때문입니다. 해야 할 일이 있기 때문입니다. 붓다처럼.
Because we all have a mission. There's something that we need to complete, just like Buddha.
Very good. Okay. The sages, meaning the people who have true wisdom, they can look at life as light, as a feather, meaning they can let go that easily. They can discard it that easily without any efforts. Okay? And then at the same time, they can look at life as heavy as a mountain. So sages have that kind of perspective, not us. Okay? So any moment, they can let go of their lives, meaning they can die without any hesitation. Okay? At the same time, they could also can hang on to dear life and refuse to die. Okay? So why? It's both at the same time, by the way. It's not one or. Either or. It's both. Yes, you too.
Life is according to its functions. Okay. There's 2 comments. Jane Clymer says the weight of life is according to its functions.
Okay.
And TSJE Patel says the more attachments, the heavier.
No, it's not that. It's not attachment here. A sage, you're missing the point. The point here, a sage looks at life both as light as a feather or as heavy as a mountain. I'm sorry, it's not clear from a Chinese saying in a translation. Okay, but in Asian culture, I mean, it's very clear. A sage looks at life both ways. Okay, that's called wisdom. It's not skewed. You find that in Buddhism, when you have wisdom, your views are balanced. It's not always on one side. Okay? It's always a good in a person. It's always a bad part in a person. It's the people who have no wisdom. They choose to look on the bad side only, or the good side only. The sages, the people who have wisdom, are balanced. Say, okay, it's sometimes good, sometimes bad. Okay, so I need to look at the whole picture. Don't be lost in the heat of emotion and say, this is so fantastic and this is wonderful, but then you forget about the bad side of the situation. Okay, so that's what makes sages different from us. They can look at life. Life is something is very important to us. Yes, we all are afraid to die, aren't we? I am afraid to die. I don't know about you. There's so many things still we need to experience. Going to the moon. So anyway, but the sages are different. The sages said, when it's time for me to die, like Mr. YongHua, he says, it's time for me to die by the hands of this thug, then I die without any hesitation. That's wisdom. On the other hand, YongHua could have at the same time said, you try to kill me, but you can't. I won't die. I won't let you kill me. That's the point. YongHua let him kill them, let the thug kill him there. But actually, it didn't stop him from going somewhere else to do some other stuff. You see, so that's YongHua's case where he could have chosen to say, "Hey, I tell you what, I know I owe you a blood debt, but you can't kill me today," as was the comment made at JC. I have something I need to do. Very much like, you see, the quote from Master YongHua is because of the story between Master Taoan telling YongHua, say, "Hey, it's time to go," and YongHua says, "No, I can't go yet." That means that he thinks that life is important. He doesn't want to die. Life is heavy as a mountain. Is that clear? You see, the connection is not very clear in the translation, but it's very clear in Master YongHua's story. YongHua has wisdom, so he says, "No, I can't die yet. My work is not done." Okay, so he continued his work, whatever he's doing, until the time came, and he says, "Okay. Now, my life is meaningless. It's no big deal." Okay? So that's why a person of wisdom has that kind of balance in the views. Okay? Because, why? Because they see the big picture. We only see a small time interval, and we think we know. All right? And that's why, in general, can I extend this a little bit for you? In general, if you have wisdom, you're a much better problem solver than the others. That's why I'm very proud of it, that when I say you guys have wisdom, you attain this level and that level and that level and so forth, it's because it's remind you that you have more wisdom than the average person. And it will show at home. It shows at work. It shows everywhere you go. Because your views are much broader, much more comprehensive than a person at a low level. You will. The higher level is like you're up there in elevation, so you see further, if you will. Very simple analogy. You look at the world from the top floor of a skyscraper instead of the first floor. You will? Okay, so that's the analogy. So the people with wisdom are able to see a lot further, a lot longer. That's why they're much better problem solvers than the lower level people. And I want you all to be aware of it, because your contribution at home, whatever you do, really makes a difference. Trust me. A lot more than you realize, because you offer the views, the perspective that are longer lifespan and more profound. All right? So be proud of the fact that you are making a difference. You can make a difference. A lot more than you think. That's why you should take what we've been promoting, advocating very seriously. Improve, get better and better. You naturally contribute to society. Just for being yourself, your better selves. You not talk. You carry it. You execute it throughout your daily lives. Everything you do, everything you touch will be better than before. On the grounds of doing good. Okay? You can do evil even better too. But I don't advise it. It's fun to do evil every now and then, but not. Don't make it a habit. Okay? Yeah. Because if you do evil often, you will slide back. Okay? Don't forget that. Your hard-earned promotion, your hard-earned improvement comes at, a lot of pain and suffering. Look at these people. Trust me, look at them. Are they having fun? Nah. They say, why am I doing this? How did I get talked in doing this? See, the smart people say, never. Okay. What's the hurry? Let me think about it, But these people, and they suffer. And because of the suffering, they will improve. They will improve. They have the chances of improving are a lot more higher than us. Okay? But they have to remember, that's what happened to Master Hsien disciples. They suffer a lot under Master Hsien. And then after he's gone, they started making mistakes. He's not around anymore. I'm reminding you, okay? Don't make mistakes. Don't create offenses, because you pay. Okay? Learn from your predecessors. Okay? Let's learn from them. Be careful. You got up there, it's so hard for you to get up there, and if you start creating more and more offenses, even if you're right and you create offenses, you still fall. I think we're back to the where we were last listened to the tape. Am I correct? 205? No.
No, we'll start on 213.
2 what?
213, 213 is where we will start.
And so he says, Wang Jia, who is maybe a hermit, maybe a lay person, but clearly he has wisdom. And for him, for example, you can tell the telltale sign is that he's able to hang around with Master Tao An. Master Tao An doesn't waste time with people. Okay? Unless Wang Jia was contributing to Master Taoan's work, he would not be able to hang around with Master Taoan very often. Not at all. Okay? And the proof is that as soon as Master Taoan realized that I'm done here, there's nothing more I can do, and nothing more YongHua can do. What we've been doing is pretty important together, so it's nothing more we can do. So let's go. Time to move on to the next project. Okay? And so Master Taoan says, I cannot afford to waste time. Let's move. You too. You done here. But YongHua said, no, I'm not done. You may be done, but I still have a small debt I need to pay. So Master YongHua says, be careful. Do not create karmas, because there's a retribution. And you create karmas out of confusion. Your confusion, your mind is not clear. You don't see clearly. Your mind is foggy. When you hear the word confusion, it should come to mind immediately. Is my head clear? If my head is not clear, then I'm in a state of confusion. I need to clear my head. Okay? Because you act and make decisions when your head is not clear, you are creating karmas. And Master Hsuan further explaining on slide 209, he says the confusion happened because of the root cause, which is ignorance or stupidity. Wu Ming. Ignorance here, it's from the Chinese word no light, no clarity of mind, if you will. Okay? Wu Ming is that is both. Wu Ming is that number one, there's no light, you cannot see. Okay, it's dark. Okay, and number two, it also means that you have no light of wisdom in your mind. It's both. Okay, and so when there's no light, then you're confused. You cannot see clearly, and therefore you will create offenses. Okay? You don't see clearly. If you can't see clearly, then you have no wisdom and you're ignorant. And because you're confused, you will create evil karma. And when you create karmas, bad karmas, you will undergo the retribution of suffering from your evil deeds, evil karmas. Okay? Questions, comments? When you hear this, it sounds like how does it relate to you? Why does it keep on talking about this? Why do the Buddhists keep on talking about it? They say, okay, so you're confused, you create offenses. But what worldly people fail to understand the message, part of the message is this, is that it is not emphasized in the way that the Buddhist teaching is conveyed to you. He says, you create offenses because of confusion, which arises because you have no light. Okay? All right? So You see the connection? You do bad things because you're confused. You're confused because you have no light of wisdom. You cannot see clearly. So far, so good. And this is undesirable, to create offenses, because you will suffer. Don't go home and cry with mama. You will have to suffer. So far, so good. So what is implied by here, and needs to be emphasized for us in our generation, is that it's not, you may dismiss the fact, okay, so you guys are, are kind of follow these teachings. And it says you create offenses because you're confused, and because you're confused because you have no wisdom. Okay? So, but it said, but I'm smart. I have no problems. Worldly people say, I'm smart. Hey, man, I'm a scientist. I'm a genius. Okay? The message is still the same, even though you're a genius. But if your mind is confused, you can be a genius, but your mind can also be confused. Yes? The things will confuse you. Like, what else? I don't know. Okay? And so the things will confuse you. It doesn't matter how smart you are, how brilliant you are. The things will confuse you. Okay? And therefore, you can ill afford to ignore that chain reaction there. You create offenses, therefore you will suffer. Okay? Okay? And because you create offense because you're confused because you have no wisdom. So the point here is that isn't having no wisdom a huge problem? Isn't it? You think it's theoretical. These Chinese, they keep on talking about karmas and confusion and no wisdom. But it's not that the Chinese fail to stress enough. The fact is that the wisdom is very clear. If you have no wisdom, you will do things to inflict pain upon and suffering upon yourself. Like it or not. You can deny it all you want. Every single waking moment, if you are confused, if you have no wisdom, you actually are making yourself suffer. You agree or disagree? Yes, 9.
Oh, Master, I had a question. Does having wisdom make someone naturally abide by the 6 principles? Or does someone who does have wisdom, do they still need to make effort to follow the 6 principles?
When you have wisdom, then you're less likely to violate the teachings. This is not 100%. Okay? For example, for them, you can use statistics. For them, it's like, let's say, depending on your level of wisdom, could be like between 60% and up. For us, 60% of not creating offenses, only doing good deeds. For us, it's like 5%. It's a huge discrepancy between them and us. And that's why Master Tao An hang around with that guy, YongHua, because YongHua doesn't create offenses. It's very annoying to hang around people that all can think of all day is trying to manipulate you. Huh? Trying to something, create offenses. And that's why kids are very sensitive. If your mind is prone, it's always plotting. Okay? Kids stay away from you. It's not wholesome energy. And kids say, no, you're no fun. Kids want to have fun. Okay? So they don't come near you because you are no fun to be with. Very much like Master Taoan says, YongHua, you can come and spend time with me, but not most of my disciples. All right? Yes, Wei Mao.
Thank you, Master. I really appreciate you raising the question. If it's okay, I'd like to share a little bit of my Western perspective.
Okay. I thought mine was Western. Now he's like, labeling him as Western. I'm not. Okay, but it's okay. It's okay. I don't resent it.
Thank you, Master. My prevailing perspective is that there is a general ignorance of wisdom in daily life in this country. My personal experience is that outside of coming to temple, the only place where wisdom was a topic of conversation, as ridiculous as it may sound, was when we would play Dungeons and Dragons. For those of you who don't know, in Dungeons and Dragons, wisdom is a very important stat for healers and clerics. They need wisdom to be better at healing spiritual spells. And other than that, it's completely and totally useless. So you had a specific archetype where wisdom was important, but only for very specific things, and then you generally ignored it. And I don't hear wisdom being mentioned in the nightly news or in the newspaper or in TV shows or really in movies. It's, I feel like just the more we can articulate A, what wisdom is, and then B, what it's good for, problem solving is just so generally beneficial.
Very good. Thank you for the input. You're absolutely right. Wisdom is not prized in the modern times. The modern times, we prize success. We prize metrics, how much money you make, how famous you are, how many YouTube subscription you have. That golfer phenomenon, her name is Spiranak or something. I heard she had like 50 million followers. You know who I'm talking about? Only Peter and I know about this. At least I have someone here. I'm so appreciative of you, Peter, because I'm talking to these people. Yeah. Okay. A lady who looks very nice has 50 million followers, and they follow every single move of hers. The latest one I heard is that she's working on improving her derriere. Not funny? Okay, well. And they avidly follow her, what she does when she lifts the weights. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Wei Mao.
Master, perhaps you're unlocking some potential wisdom on how to grow our channel.
Could you spell it out, please?
Squats.
Like you, Peter doing squats. See, now he sounds like Asians. For Americans, we spell it out right away. You attach a label, a person.
I do think that is actually insightful, though, because in the workplace, and as I talk to people who use tools like Excel and different analytics, the wisdom lies in your ability to use these tools and see key performance indicators. Identify key performance indicators. Those are not things that just intellect alone can define. It takes real wisdom to figure it out.
More specifically, when you say identify key elements of performance, that is wisdom, meaning that you're able to spot the causal agents of the good results. That requires wisdom. So don't tell me that wisdom is only far-fetched, it's unrealistic. What's the big deal with wisdom? If you have wisdom, you can see the connection between things. Okay? Cause and effect. Cause and effect. So it's very useful, folks. It's not outlandish when it's like, the Buddhists are basically are useless, they're unrealistic. They talk about things that are absolutely useless to us. And on the surface, it appears like we're pursuing silly things, but that's only a strategy to open your wisdom so that you can really contribute to society instead of damaging and harming society. Okay? And you see, the reason that we call the wisdom from our part, because the foundation of that wisdom is what? Thou shalt not harm. Not for personal gains, not for worldly gains. No harming. That's the kind of wisdom that we have. It's constructive. It's helpful, not self-serving. And we're quietly doing it without beating drums and, say, hey, I have 50 million followers who follow my every single move, including lifting weight. I admit to you, I was watching a video too. I said, seriously? What happened to Chungin Sunim? Hey, Chungin Sunim, that lady has a very nice weight cage. For her to do the weightlifting, actually a very nice cage where there's a rail here. When you lift, it goes up. She pushes the weight up the rails and goes down so that you will not hurt yourself. It's very safe. Spironak. Okay, Peter, help him out. Okay.
Sunim, the lady, she stays in a box so her butt can move straight, and people like it.
No, show him.
Master, if it helps our views, I'm down.
Okay, you see, the Chinese, I want to point out to you, the Chinese, like Master Hsuan, like to say, you suffer because you create offenses. You create offenses because you're confused. You're confused because you say that. But they're missing the emphasis. The emphasis is that, why is it useful to me, to you, to the non-Buddhists, to the young people, to the old people, to everyone. Because there's a clear connection. Okay? You have no wisdom, you're hurting yourself. You do things that hurt yourself, and in particular, the ones that you love. How about it? Wouldn't that bother you? Some of you like to hurt yourself. Ooh, I like this. But to hurt someone you love, that's different. Yes? And that's why I like you, next generation, to explain the Dharma, to make the clear connection. Instead of following the Chinese and saying, you create offense, you suffer, and so forth. Okay? You see how I interpret it so that you see it makes more sense to this non-Buddhists, to the people of the world who says, why are we studying Buddhism? Why are we selling? Why are we promoting Chan? Why are we promoting Pure Land? Why are we promoting Sutra lectures? It's because it helps you open your wisdom. And you suffer less. And hopefully one day you have open your wisdom and you can help a lot of people. Your life has meaning, folks. Not just live. You see? So there is the master says, this is very Chinese, I just explained to you. There is connection, why you suffer. And therefore, if you don't like to suffer, don't create karma. There still is a similar conclusion. But my point is that I'm linking it to the fact that, and but much more direct, I'm telling you that if your mind has no wisdom yet, you're creating karmas, like it or not. You can deny it all you want. You say, hey, I'm philanthropist. I give $200 million to the Museum of Modern Art in LA. Okay, I support the Philharmonics. I support building schools. I support building hospitals. I support language classes for the poor in Sri Lanka, in Bangladesh. Okay, I'm teaching them hygiene. I'm giving them vaccines and so forth. Those are temporary reliefs, but unless they have wisdom, unless they plant the seeds of wisdom, they will continue to do things that hurt themselves. Aren't we better off doing both? Give them temporary relief and also plant the seeds of wisdom for them so that they eventually learn to fish and take care of themselves and avoid harming themselves. The world, the approach to doing good in this world is one-sided. It's too short-sighted. Okay? Because they don't have a solution for the sufferings of the world. The solution to the suffering of the world is what? Wisdom. We all need to develop our wisdom. Please take it seriously. It's that important. And not about me, it's about you, about all of us, our children. Too, someday when they get older, they need to develop wisdom. All right? Thank you, everyone. Any questions or comments? If not, we can stop here tonight. Thank you.